You sleeping on CSPR Casper with the C this time we're going to have a chat about, because now this is one of these ones that often gets overlooked. Like, it doesn't really get spoken about a great deal, but there is some really interesting things about this, and I still think it's got potential to do a decent amount of X's. I've seen some ludicrous price targets though being banded about, and I think it's kind of better to have a little look into this. Also, if you are invested or enjoy the content regarding FrontFans, I want to address something, and I'll do that at the end of the video, because I know if you're here watching this because you've clicked the thumbnail, clicked the title, it's because you're interested in CSPR. So we'll go through CSPR first, but I want to address a couple of comments that I heard off Jake Gordon's most recent video. So I'm not going to call him out, but I'm going to address a couple of points. But first of all, let's get into CSPR. So the future-proof blockchain. The future is unwritten, but the past is immutable. Welcome to the future-proof blockchain, enabling long-term solutions to real-world challenges. Casper is a powerful public smart contract platform, empowering creators, communities, and businesses to connect with integrity and trust. I've done a few videos on CSPR in the past, and I know that a few of my subscribers are invested in CSPR, and I think I still hold my CSPR. My average buy price isn't too bad. So Casper is simple. It's built by builders for builders. Casper is designed to accelerate the developer adoption of blockchain technology through WASM, code environment, and open programming standards. Now, I'm not going to go through the entire website, so you can feel free to come and have a look at this yourselves. But it is quite an interesting one. I actually quite like the website. It shows you here the 4 macro trends that are driving Casper's development and adoption, so tokenization being one of them. And we've heard Larry Fink and a lot of other people talk about how important tokenization is going to be, particularly around the real-world asset side and things like that. So it's going to be quite interesting. Tokenized economy, which is decentralization, fractionalization, microeconomies and community. Ownership rights, so asset digitization, cryptographically secure authenticity and ownership rights. Financial standards, transforming capital markets through on-chain implementation of new standards. And creator economy, which is NFTs, which can be art, music, video, and games, essentially. Lots of things in here. You can start developing if you wish. You can join the community, explore Casper as you feel free. Have a look at the ecosystem. So the ecosystem is pretty good. It's getting bigger all the time, and it is expanding out. I am bullish on Casper. I have been for a while, but we haven't got around to talking about it for a little while. So you've got its ecosystem. You've got software houses there. You can check all these companies out, validators, centralized exchanges, which we'll also look at in a little while, because there's still a few more that it can join that will help the price. You've got collectibles, things like that, DeFi, enterprise, Explorer, marketplace, NFTs, and some strategic partners, things like that, tools, wallet, then some miscellaneous stuff. Like I showed you ICP's ecosystem, which is growing and growing, and it's massive. Casper's is doing really well too. It's really interesting. Then obviously you want to have a look at the team. So the team are doxed, which is good. It's a truly global team that Casper is dedicated to delivering impactful, innovative solutions that solve some of today's most pressing problems. We pride ourselves on our diverse backgrounds and experiences and the unique blend of skills that they enable. Camera went off there, so I've had to edit this slightly, which I don't normally do, so it's going to take a little bit longer to get out. But we're basically looking at so this is the CEO and co-founder at Casper Labs, Mrinal Manohar. But if we look through, we can just have a little glance, because I like to sort of see that there's an active team, that they're docs and stuff like that. So you can look at their previous work experience. All looks pretty good. Decent education as well at Carnegie Mellon. And then we've got Medha Palika, who's the CTO and co-founder as well at Casper Labs. You can read through a little bit more about her and what she does. She's focused on bringing more women into the blockchain space, which I think is a really good thing. We need to have a bit more diversity within the blockchain space. All these, there's a lot of crypto bros and stuff, right? So it's interesting to see that she's doing that. I support that development massively. And then you can check through her education, different things like that. It's all interesting. So what's been happening lately? As we know, they're at Davos. My thoughts about, the whole Davos situation, things like that. I don't like all this WEF stuff. And, I don't think it furthers humanity. I think it only really comes around to kind of enslaving it long run. But these are like the ISO 2022 compliant kind of projects. Obviously, I hold Quant 2, HBAR. There's a few others. I think XDC is pretty good as well myself, but there's not much interest in that, and I'm not invested in XDC. So yes, they're at Davos. that may put people off, or it may encourage people because they think that, well, it's going to work. Then obviously, if they're partnered with them kind of people. At rect_wojak, there's a couple of tweets that he's done a really good job on, actually. They're very interesting. So this is about the Brave AI. So this is kind of, they've sort of demoed it at Davos a couple of months ago. They were asking for medium enterprises, small businesses, things like that, to use it. So now there's a video here. I suggest you come and have a look at it. It's really, really good. So what could this mean for the CSPR token holders? Each Brave AI deployment will cost CSPR. More companies using Brave AI will obviously give more demand for CSPR. Greater demand for the token is greater purchasing power for the CSPR token on market. So HODL is his advice. I tend to agree that it's obviously a decent use case. And then he also put up this as well. So this is their track and trace solution. So they're now into they're transforming supply chain from a liability into an asset, which is obviously good because the more they can cut on costs and save, the more they can invest in the future and obviously ultimately bigger profits. So you can manage shipments with these, provide real-time tracking, supervise containers with low effort, blockchain grade security, similar to what like VeChain were attempting to do back in the 2021 bull run. I still think VeChain can do well as well, but maybe not to the level that we would have hoped. Because I think in 2021 it still seemed like it didn't go to the levels you want it to go to. So the price of the last 24 hours, obviously things are very dippy. It's got a market cap of $505 million. Its max chart looks horrendous. It's one of them flat ICP type charts, although I still think this has got a lot of legs. And total supply isn't bad. The circulating supply against that isn't too bad. Over the year, though, it's actually 19% up. And I was buying back in like January, February. So I've been adding to the bags. I haven't added to it for a little while because I've obviously paused DCA in December and bought some other projects that I thought had better potential. A lot of people are saying that this can go to $5. I don't think it's going to go that high. So I want to show a few ranges where I think it is likely to get to. I think $1 is massively achievable. I don't think there's much of an issue with that. It's a 22x from where it is now. $1 seems fine to me. $2, again, 45x. That seems very reasonable to me. And $3, a $35.2 billion market cap and a 69x. I think again that's probably where it would top out. I know people are saying like 5. So we look at 5. $58 billion market cap, 115x. I don't think it does that. I don't think it does that. If we look right now, it would put it above BNB's current market cap. And yeah, I know obviously during a bull run, they're going to exponentially grow. These market caps are going to be far bigger than what we're seeing right now. But I think the range would be, for me, the $3 kind of range. I would be looking to have 80%, maybe 85% of my CSPR out at that price, because it could potentially go to them $5 mark, and it has a possibility if there's enough hype around it, obviously. So will I let that 15% go? Probably, yeah. I think that's probably where I'd want to do it. I'd want to be all 85% out, I think, by the time it gets to kind of this $3 range. After that, we'll hold that little moon bag and hope for the best. But I am bullish on Casper. I think he can do really, really well. I still think there's a lot of legs for it. But you have to let me know what you think about Casper, because some of you really love it. It's like a Marmite crypto. Some of you really love it. Some of you really hate it. So I'm really interested to see what your thoughts are, because I know a lot of people are massively bullish, and then a lot of people are massively bearish. So it's interesting. Jake made this video today, this one here, or at least it was uploaded today. And again, this is not me calling Jake out. I get on really well with Jake. We've had beer together. I'd consider him a friend to a certain extent. We have very different opinions on certain things, which is fine, because I think that's healthy. But this video here, I'm not going to give away his whole video, obviously. But one of these two altcoins that he's talking about is FrontFans. The other one, I'm not going to mention. You have to watch the video for yourself. Again, I like Jake. I get on really well with him. But there was a couple of things I just want to address. So in his video, he stated that he was paid to do the FrontFans video, and he openly said that, obviously, to his audience. I just want to again reiterate that I never received a penny. I do not do sponsored videos. The fact that he's had a sponsored video there, and the fact that he's mentioned that other influencers are likely to join that, over the next upcoming times. I mean, that's absolutely fine. Like, I don't want sponsored videos, and I've explained this to you on numerous occasions. The way I see things like sponsored videos is a lot of the time, the bigger the audience, because this is the thing, right? So in the last bull run in 2021, there was less savvy audience. So the audience would often go with whatever influencer had a large subscriber base. Obviously, Jake's got 53,000, and this isn't just about Jake. This is like any big influencer. They've got a large audience base, right? So back in 2021, a lot of people were putting like their last hard earned into these projects that were sponsored, and they were ultimately rug pulls. FrontFans for me is definitely not that. I'm still massively bullish on the project. The team are great, the community is great, the platform's great. But what tends to happen is with these massive influencer promotional videos, because the audience be getting more and more savvy. If you go through some videos from 2021 and then read the comment section there, and then read some of the videos from the sponsor stuff in 2024 and late 2023, you'll see the shift in audience. They're becoming more savvy, and they're thinking, well, I don't want to be involved in pump and dumps and things like that. And it kind of taints genuine projects that are really trying to do well. So that has an influence. So that obviously then makes me think, well, I have to obviously maybe de-risk or reassess my positions within certain things, because when it gets massive and loads of massive influencers talking about it, yeah, it might have an initial uptick in price, but ultimately it can be negative in the long run for companies to do that. Advertising itself, obviously, is hugely important, has been for years. That's why people spend millions of dollars on television adverts, Super Bowl advert, halftime advert, massive space, massive cost. But in the crypto world now, particularly in the YouTube crypto world, people are getting more savvy to that situation. But I want to put it on the line. Like, I'm always been transparent with you. I've never taken a penny to promote anything. I get email after email after email. Can you promote this project? Can you promote that one? And the answer is always the same. Absolutely not. And the reason why, because I'm always real, and as real as I can be with absolutely everyone on this channel. When how I see things, and this is not FrontFans, this is in general. So this is any project in crypto. When you've got like other big influencers, I'm not going to name all the channels and stuff, but when the bigger ones who are promoting actively projects and they're taking funds for it, then they have no ability to then criticize that project if something isn't quite right. Or like, for instance, labs. I was super bullish on labs, but completely pulled out of that because I knew something was going wrong, and I explained to you my thoughts all the way along the way. The way that when I said about FrontFans, when I first found FrontFans, like I said, it was down there. Jake said in his video that I did a 6x. I did a 10x. I went from a $500,000 market cap up to 5 million on, I think it was on New Year's Day. I've sold none. I haven't sold a single FanX token. That I haven't. If I ever were to sell, I would obviously inform you guys first, because I have that ability to have that transparency, because I don't take any funds from any projects. I think that's quite important. I think I know a lot of you guys are happy about that, because then it means that I'm just giving you my journey, right? So what worries me is like when, and this is again not to do with FrontFans, this is to do with crypto in general. If you, as much as we can say not financial advice until we're blue in the face, every YouTuber can say it and say it and say it. But I know that a lot of people, who watch a lot of videos, will go and buy whatever any YouTuber says, is good. What happens is, if those videos have been sponsored, then I always think that, what about the single mums, the single fathers, who are maybe not have so much to invest? They're putting their last £50, $50 and $100, and then, the small investors are just chipping away, and then something gets rugged. I don't want to be in that sphere. Like, I don't want to be having taken money from a project for something like that to happen, because that would feel terrible. I would generally feel awful if that happened. So that's one of the key reasons why I don't want to do sponsored videos. I want to make this bull run really successful. I want to make the biggest amount of money possible, but ethically. And I want to make sure that it's done through crypto itself. Like I want to do it from buying at very low prices and selling at very high prices. I want to make money from that, not from you. I don't want to make money from you and advertising companies. I don't want to do it. I want to make it from the bull run. So the journey's real. So then we can have, we can look back on the journey together as an audience, which is a collective. And that's one of the big things that I want to do. And this is the thing. You may think that's naive. Maybe it is, but it's honest. I'm an honest guy. I'm telling you the truth all the way through. And I think that's the most important thing. But anyway, that's just how I feel about it. Does it make me change my opinion on FanX? No, absolutely not. I'm still massively bullish on the project. Does it mean that I have to kind of look at maybe de-risking slight parts of it? Possibly, but I haven't made any decisions regarding that. And the minute I did make a decision, you'd be the first to know. Only because you may see a bit pumpy action in charts, but you'll probably see that anyway. But and in the bull run, when these big sponsorship deals come into a lot of these YouTubers, them coins are going to fly anyway. But this is a real use case. It's got a real product. I'm buzzing about FanX. Still very happy with it. But I just want to address what Jake was saying about like how he says that you'd be foolish not to. Well, I disagree. I disagree respectfully, but I disagree. I don't think you'd be foolish not to take a sponsorship deal. I don't do that. So I don't consider myself foolish. Yes, it's less money in my pocket. Of course it is. It's less money I can go and buy projects, all around the crypto market. That is true. So I have to still self-fund all of my crypto investments. And obviously, if you look at, like, again, this is not a criticism of Jake, but 53.8 thousand subscribers, decent ad revenue from that, I would imagine. Whereas my ad revenue is very, very low because I'm a very small channel. But that's okay. That's okay. Your view's really important to me. The more you view, the more you subscribe, the more money will come through ad revenue. But that's fine. That isn't the ad revenue. It's low, it's small, and your view's the most important. So that's where you'll generate income from, right? Not from taking money from crypto companies that may go to zero. It just doesn't sit right with me, and it hasn't. And Jake knows my thoughts on this, and you can go and ask Jake if you wish. You can type him in his comments or whatever. He knows my thoughts on it, and I know his, and it's fine. We're both adults, and we both, we're going to zig and zag and do our journeys in our own ways. So there's nothing that I'm saying right now that I wouldn't say to his face. He knows my thoughts on sponsored videos. He does, and we've had good chats about it. Interesting chats too. There's no animosity. It's just how I do things is slightly different, which is fine. You've got to have variety in life, right? So anyway, I know it's a little bit different towards the end. CSPR, massively bullish on. I think it'll do really, really well. Still really bullish on FanX and FrontFans. I'm looking forward to the future with regards to that. I think the project's fantastic. If you like this video, please smash the like button. I do really appreciate when you guys do that. If you can comment below any of your thoughts, let me know. I always try and answer every single comment. I think I've managed to do that so far. Coming up to 6 months of the channel now, I think I've done that. Subscriber-wise, going really, really well. We're getting close to 3,400 now, which is fantastic. So I really do appreciate that. If you can smash the subscribe button, go back through the other videos if you wish. Have a little look. If I resonate with you, great. Hit the subscribe button. If I don't, then obviously you don't have to. It's entirely your choice. Thank you very much. Wherever you are in the world, whatever you're doing, have an amazing day. Have an amazing evening. And as always, I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Goodbye.